Check, check.
How you doing, Chef Ada?
Not great.
Your tech crew's passed out.
Oh my gosh. Hi, my name is Ada, and today we're in my kitchen and we're making gourmet Cosmic Brownies. Okay, so I've never actually had a Cosmic Brownie, so I'm very excited to try them. And let's see what they look like. Okay, so they come wrapped, and it looks like there's two. I'm gonna open it. Ooh, looks fudgy. Okay. Okay, so it's definitely almost more like fudge than a brownie. And it's quite thin. And it's very dense. Like the crumb, there's almost no air in it. So yeah, it's definitely, it's good. I think it's pretty much what I expected.
Very fudgy.
Okay.
It's like kind of floury.
Floury. Okay, that's interesting.
And then the little like beady things on the top. I don't know.
Beady things on that. Chocolate chips.
It's like in a candy coating. Yeah,
Definitely. They're pretty crunchy. Alright, so what are in Cosmic Brownies? We have enriched bleach flour, wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, monotrates, vitamin B1, riboflavin, vitamin B2, and then just says for preservatives. So I think we can definitely cut out most of those things because they're all pretty much stabilizers in the homemade version. So this is definitely a ganache, and I think it's put on after they've been baked and cooled. When it's cut in half, you can pretty clearly see the candy coating around the outside, and you can see that it almost looks like the color has been put on afterwards because there's that white line in the middle, right along the edge there. But the inside just looks like a normal piece of chocolate. So I think we can definitely replicate that. I have a couple ideas with this, maybe trying a royal icing, and then we could either try coloring it or painting on the food coloring after it's hardened so we get that white line. I'm definitely gonna go with a brownie recipe that's quite fudgy, and then I think I'm gonna try and tweak it from there. I'm just gonna go over to the computer and do a little bit of research onto what Cosmic Brownies are made out of, and if there are any videos that we can watch. Let's see. Cosmic Brownies. Chewy brownie topped with fudge icing and colorful candy coated chocolate pieces. Alright, so I guess this is kind of a dead end. I'm just going to try a brownie recipe that I already know, and then I think we're just going to go from there. Okay, I'm just going to go over to the stove, and we're going to start making the butter and sugar combination. So for this, I'm going to use a double boiler so I can have hot water in the bottom, and the steam is going to come up and melt the butter and sugar together. Alright, so while the brownie's in the oven, I'm going to start doing the royal icing. So royal icing is really easy. It's just pretty much confectioner sugar, egg whites, and then you can either keep thinning it with egg whites or water. I'm going to start quite thick, and then I'm going to thin it down as I go. So already I'm noticing that this did not build up strong enough of a layer. So I think I'm going to add more sugar to this and then try it again with another one. And I need to figure out how I want them to dry. So with the second method that I thought of, I was going to stick a toothpick into the chocolate and then dip it like that. But then I would need something to stick it in. So my first idea was foam, but I'm not sure I have foam, so maybe a cardboard box. Nice. That was
If you hurt yourself, you're...
I'm not going to, don't worry. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna hold it up. Okay. I'm gonna make slits all over this box.
Oh my god!
And then we're gonna stick the toothpicks into it. I noticed in the brownies, these aren't all the same shape, and some parts are thicker than others. So I think it'll be okay. I'll stick it in there to dry. And hopefully it'll have a hard coating. I think we're gonna end here tonight. We have the brownies out of the oven, they're cut, and then we're gonna let them cool overnight. And tomorrow morning, hopefully I just can do the ganache and then take the chocolate chips off their toothpicks and sprinkle them on top and do our final test. Day 2, so overnight the chocolate chips, they set up pretty well and I'm really happy with the finish. They look shiny, but they're also kind of matte, and I like that. It looks pretty close to the original. So this morning I'm going to tackle the ganache, and then once that's made, I'll put it on top of the brownies, add the chocolate chips, and let them set up. So for the ganache, I have 2 bars of semi-sweet baking chocolate, and I like to use the bars because it gives a better consistency than the chocolate chips. I'm going to do 4 ounces of that, and then an equal 1 cup of the heavy cream. So I'm going to go and cut this, and then I'm going to heat the cream. One of the first things that I said I noticed yesterday was this line going down the middle. And I'm going to recreate this using, I think, a long toothpick or a dowel, wooden dowel. And that should give the same little effect where you want to break it in two. And we also see that the ganache is completely covering that little divot. So I think that this pushing in step has to come before I put the ganache on. So I'm going to try that now. I think these will work. These are thick enough. That fits pretty nicely. Yeah, I'll just do it with one of these ones on the end. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm just gonna do this to the rest of them. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little cocoa powder. We'll see if that does anything to the color. It didn't change the color too much, but I think that maybe the better version, just the chocolate's looks a bit more like real chocolate. I think for theirs they might have used something maybe with a darker like cocoa percentage in their chocolate, but I think that the bittersweet chocolate will complement the flavor profile on these a little better than dark chocolate. I'm gonna try dipping one of these in. Let's see what happens. Oh, they're sticking a little bit.
That's really good.
That's pretty good. Okay. Let me set this one over here to dry. Okay, so I put all the ganache on them and I put the chocolate chips on top, and I think that they look pretty good. I have a little side-by-side comparison here. This one is the store-bought version and this one's my version. So let's see. I definitely see from the cross-section it looks very similar to the outside of one of these where I cut it on this side. They both look very dense, very shiny on the bottom. The chocolate chips I think look great. The thing I think I could improve on though is these chocolate chips are quite large. So if I were to do again, maybe either find smaller chocolate chips or trying shaving them down. But other than that, I think that they look pretty good. Let's see how they taste. Yeah, so I think the ganache on these ones is definitely much better than the original. The original, I felt like the topping pretty much just blended into the brownie itself. And then you can definitely taste that there are two separate elements. And I definitely like that the chocolate chips are a lot softer. Yeah, so I think that this is a win. Oh my gosh, Neha, you want to come taste my brownie?
Sure.
All right, here, I'll get you a little
should I
piece.
do like one of each?
Yeah.
Yeah, still very chewy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's not bad.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I mean it tastes obviously like better. This kind of tastes like really old granola bar. With been sitting.
Yeah.
And this like has that texture but not that taste.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a plus. The chocolate chips taste exactly the same.
Good. Yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Thank you. Very, very excited about them. All right, Bella, you want to come over here once you're done wiping down that counter?
Sure.
Okay. Is this the...
Yes, this is my version.
Okay. I'm scared.
You're scared?
I'm going...
It is because of that one little chocolate chip sitting on there.
Okay. I think the chocolate chip looks really good. So far, that's my favorite part.
Good. What do you think?
Yeah.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Does it have the pain that you wanted?
It does have just, I guess, not as much pain.
Good. That was kind of the goal. Because I think most people don't want painful food.
And it just has, like, the chewiness that
Good.
this has, which I wasn't sure how you were going to achieve, but yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for coming and tasting, Bella. Appreciate it. How to make gourmet cosmic brownies. Combine 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate and 1.5 sticks of butter in a double boiler and melt until combined. In a separate bowl, whisk 2 large eggs plus 1 yolk and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. In another bowl, whisk 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup all-purpose flour. Combine the chocolate mixture with the eggs and then fold in your dry ingredients. For the chocolate chips, combine egg whites and powdered sugar in a bowl until thick. Add food coloring to your desiring colors. Then take small chocolate chips, dip them in each color, put toothpicks into the chocolate chips, and stand them up on a cardboard box and let dry for 24 hours. Ganache, warm 1 cup of heavy cream on the stove until light simmer. Put 8 ounces of chocolate chips into a glass bowl and then pour the warm cream mixture on top. Let sit for around 10 minutes until it's thickened. Once the brownies come out of the oven, cut them using a Cosmic Brownie as the guide and use a dowel to make an imprint in the center. Then gently coat the brownies in an even layer of ganache and lay chocolate chips on top.
Wait,
Are we moving?
These move.
Oh, we don't move our
But you
arms.
know what?